What is going on, guys? I hope you are all doing well. Today we are going to be doing an oil change on the Elantra. This process is going to be the exact same for all Elantras 2016 to 2020 with the 2-liter motor. But if you have any other years or really any other vehicle, this is going to be a very similar process. The oil type, oil capacity, and the oil filter are really going to be the only differences here. So Hyundai recommends 5W20. I always use Mobil 1 in all my vehicles. We can debate oil and oil filters all day long. I remember doing a bunch of research when I was racing motorcycles, and I don't remember why, but Mobil 1 stood out to me, so that's what I've always used. The oil filter for this, if you're gonna go with Mobil 1, is M1 104A. You're gonna need a 17mm socket for the drain bolt, an oil filter wrench, channel locks, something of the sorts to get the oil filter off. And then depending on if you have matching bolts or body clips underneath, they might take a Phillips bit or a 10mm socket to get that engine cover off. Drain pan, paper towels, because I make a mess, and unless you're a pro, not like me, then you'll need paper towels. Car's already on jack stands. Unfortunately, this car sits too low to be able to use ramps, so I have to put it on jack stands. The bumper is gonna hit the ramps. All right, enough for the intro. I'm gonna put the camera underneath the car and start taking the engine cover off, and we'll get started with this. All right, so these are the body clips that I was talking about. You can see there's a Phillips head on this one. This one you gotta pry out. And then on the back side of the engine, there's a couple bolts. Don't ask me why this one's all mismatched like this. But that's the first step to getting this engine cover off so that we can get to the drain plug and the oil filter. Alright, so with the engine cover off, your drain plug's going to be right here, and your oil filter is going to be right here. So we're going to start by cracking the drain plug loose and getting the oil draining. With that draining down there, you can take the oil cap off just to help it flow a little faster. That draining, we're going to take the oil filter off. And it's a good idea to double check and make sure that the old O-ring for the oil filter came off with it. I've never had one stick on, but there's always the chance that it could. The oil is pretty much finished draining, so we're going to put the oil plug back in. And with the drain plug tightened by hand, you just want to snug it up with the ratchet. You don't want to crank down on it. Give everything a good wipe down. Alright, and then before installing the new oil filter, you're going to pre-fill it. And pre-fill it as much as possible to where you're not going to spill it on yourself putting it back in. And then take some of this new oil here and rub it all over this O-ring here to make sure that it doesn't dry out and leak. And then same thing again when you're putting the new oil filter on. Make sure you don't cross thread it. It should thread on very easily. And then when you tighten it up, don't use a wrench on it. Just get it as tight as you can with your hands. And then if you spilled any, give everything a good wipe down. Now for filling it up. Like I said earlier, an oil change with an oil filter is 4.2 quarts. So you can see your lines here. The right side is your quarts, left side is your liter. Don't ask me to convert liters to quarts, because that's above my pay grade here. Oil change is 4.2 quarts. I'm gonna put 4 in there to start with, and then we're gonna start the motor, let it run, and check it. Put the cap back on, start it, check for leaks, make sure we're not leaking oil anywhere, and then check it. No leaks there. No leaks there. So we have no leaks. Turning the engine back off for a minute while it's sitting. I'm gonna put the engine cover back on, and then we'll check the oil level after it's sat for a minute. All right. So it's been sitting for a minute or two. We'll check the oil level, see where that's at. And that is reading low, so we need to top it off more. Alright guys, after topping the oil off and checking the levels again, we're at the perfect level and we're done with the oil change. Hit that like button for getting oil all over my camera. I hope this video helped you out. Drop me a comment, hit that subscribe button, and we'll see you in the next video.